This is your only e-stop. Push it in. It stays in. Alarm does not go away until you pull it back out. All the way to off. Clear. It's going to go through its reconnection with the ECM. You'll probably hear the lift pump come on, and then it'll all clear and go back to normal. And right above it, you can see it, is the engine or the generator data tag. That's all your information as far as the whole generator set itself. Model, serial number, spec letter, the rating, voltages and everything else. So if you ever need to get any parts for the whole system itself, that's what they're going to ask for information-wise, is model, serial number, spec letter.
The tag above the control panel?
Above the control panel, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you can see
Okay.
it there.
Yeah, I see it. Thank you.
And then module over here on the right, that's an audible alarm. So like you heard the buzzer go off when I hit the e-stop, that's all that is, just an audible alarm. And it'll clear whenever the fault clears on the control.
All right.
Any questions? It's ready to operate it now?
So far.
Get behind the seat?
Yep.
All right. Let's go through a couple maintenance items. Overfuel alarm. If you get the tank too full, it has a sensor in there. It's going to go off. Light's going to come on. Buzzer's going to go off. It's loud. It's annoying. Hit that. It'll silence it. Light will probably stay on until the fuel level gets back down to normal. So once you silence it, it should stay off. Your tank information right here, capacity, all the operating vacuum pressure and everything. So it's 850 gallons, and it's a dual containment. It does have a rupture basin and a rupture basin alarm. Fuel right here, along with the manual gauge. So those are your two checkpoints there, are on the other side of the rail. It does have a low fuel alarm built into the tank, so when it gets anywhere from a third to a quarter of a tank, it'll give you a low fuel alarm.
And this is a crankcase breather right here?
Yes. Yep, that's the only one it has. Big Green's have two of them, but this is it. So
Yeah.
what I just recommend every once in a while, just take a peek in there, make sure there's not a bunch of debris in it. Spiders like to build nests in there and everything else.
Wasps.
Yeah, wasp. If that
Can we screen that? Is that a problem screening it?
No, you can put a screen over it. Just want to make sure you have some type of ventilation through it.
And what about fuel additives to keep the diesel in shape?
We do offer a fuel stabilizer that you can add in, and keeps the fuel stabilized as well as anti-gelling, which we don't really encounter here. It doesn't get cold enough.
How long will the fuel last with an additive?
If you put the additive regularly, it's pretty much indefinite.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Usually diesel will be fine for 8 to 10 years before it'll start breaking down and getting water in it, allergy, that kind of stuff. So if you put an additive every couple of years, you'll be fine.
Is there one in there now, or do we need to put one in?
No, there's nothing in it now, just fuel.
And did it get filled?
It's 3/4. They put 650 gallons in it.
We had the guy out here and we didn't have him fill it.
That's what he ordered.
Yeah, they said 650 gallons, so that's what he put in there. Your dipstick for your oil level is right here behind these tank vents. These are just ventilation for the tank. They had to be up a certain thing for code, so that's the only reason they're up there. Air filter cap. Check the air filter, just a little tab on one side, turn it just a degree or two and pull the cap back. Filter element comes out. There is a indicator on the other side. I'll show you when we get around the other side. And oil fill right here, oil drain. There is a whip hose which comes off this valve here, and the whip hose ends up over there. So you just pull it out of that little mount and bring it out the bottom, and you can go into a bucket or a pump.
Yeah.
Fuel filter does have a water and fuel sensor in it, so you unplug that, pull the filter, put a new filter in, plug it back in. It's probably going to give you an alarm once you unplug the fuel sensor, so you just got to reset it when you're done. Engine data tag. Are you guys going to be the ones out here with the Air Resource Board?
More than likely.
Okay. They're going to want to see engine serial number and horsepower rating. That tag is on the top, right here. It's right here on the side of the valve cover. It gives you
Oh, okay, yeah.
got your engine number, standby horsepower 755 at 1800 RPM. That's what this thing's rated at. So that's what they're going to want to see to make sure that their paperwork is correct.
So that's the tag they'll want to see tomorrow
Yeah.
during the initial startup. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they'll really care about anything on the generator tag over there. They usually just want to see engine serial number and the horsepower rating.
Okay.
And then they watch it start and look above the stack, and they,
yeah, calibrated vision.
yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Okay, any questions on this side? Good. Okay.
Well, raw video.
Where the fun's at here. Okay, over here, radiator cap is up above the radiator on this side. Real convenient, right next to the exhaust pipe. It does have a sight glass on it, so you can visually see the level.
If you're standing up here, you can see.
You can kind of see it from here a little bit if you.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It does have a sensor right next to it for the level also, so if the level does get below that sensor, it will give you an alarm on the control panel. As far as maintenance, you got a coolant filter here, spin on just like the rest of them. Turn this to the left until it stops. That shuts the flow off. Spin the filter off, spin it on, turn it back on. Oil filter. You got your 2 cranking batteries, 24 volt system, so they are in series. The battery charger is right here. It's a 10 amp float style charger. 120 volt plug in there. So if you ever need to take the batteries loose, take them apart for any reason, clean the terminals or change them out, make sure you pull the battery charger first. The battery chargers do send out a pulse, and if they don't have anything to absorb that pulse, then it can fry something in the control board. We've had it happen before. So there is a tag right here that kind of reminds you to disconnect the battery charger before pulling the cables. And the charger is hooked up directly to the starter here on these cables. That way they don't get corroded on the battery terminals. This has a couple alarms on it. I have a manual for it over there if you want to read anything else into it. But basically, it's most times it's going to be in float mode, so these 3 lights will be on, and it alternates between amperage and voltage on the display there.
And these fuses are for?
Those are the main fuses for ECM, heater controls, basically all the DC system on the engine. So yeah, if you have a dead display on the control or something like that, first thing you just check these. see. Where is? Filter indicator? It didn't.
Yeah, right on top.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I just missed it. Okay.
The little
Yeah, there's a little
vacuum.
restriction gauge up on top there. These are heater controls. This does have 240 volt going into it, so you do want to isolate if you have to open that for any reason. There's a couple relays in there. If the heaters end up not working, it's usually the point where we troubleshoot from,
Yeah.
just to see if you're getting everything you're supposed to. This is your heater here. It's a single heater unit. It's got isolation valves, so if you have to change it out, change the hoses for any reason, you can turn the power off at the breaker over there, isolate the two valves, and pull the heater unit out.
That just heats up the fluid?
It's a
Or
coolant heater, yeah. Heats it and circulates it through the block, keeps it warm. Instead of having glow plugs, that's the alternative. It's keeping the head warm so the combustion chambers will fire. So these things will start immediately, go right up to speed.
And so that's temperature controlled, so if it's below.
It has a built-in thermostat right here in the side of it. So it'll turn on and turn off as needed. Although the thermostats, for years they will go out. Some won't come on at all, and some will stay on.